So, we're going to have a bit of an adult conversation today. You do not have to stay in a dead bedroom type of marriage. You do not have to remain miserable in a marriage. Getting divorced and living out the rest of your life single is perfectly acceptable today. You're not going to be shunned. You're not going to get any scarlet letters. You can do this. It'll be okay. So, this was in the marriage advice subreddit. She says suggestions to help a sexless marriage. So she's 40, he's 43. She said, my husband and I have been together for 20 years, married for 14. Currently, we have the home of our dreams and a comfortable lifestyle. No kids by choice, just pets. My husband is a kind, loyal, considerate person who will go out of his way to help me with anything I need. He takes care of things around the house as needed. He cooks when I work late. He is a wonderful person. The only problem, no intimacy, physical or emotional. Looking back, I should have known. The physical has always been an issue, even when dating and engaged. Not only has he never been into X, he doesn't really like to be touched, which was already problematic because physical touch happens to be my love language. Over the years, I have stopped trying to show affection or instigate intimacy because a person's self esteem can only take so many hits. He pulls away from hugs or asks me to stop if I try to rub his arm. Admittedly, it's been a long time since I outright tried to instigate X, and he doesn't seem to take more subtle hints. I tried a lacy teddy once, and he literally laughed and told me to go change. That was years ago, and I have no desire to relive that experience. He doesn't instigate either, even when I voiced that I'm open to it. It's now been almost 8 years since we've had X, and at that time, it had been 3 years before that. I've tried asking if he's asexual. He says he's not. In my head, there's only two options. Number one, he's asexual, or number two, he wants to have X, but just not with me. I know my self esteem should not be tied to another person, but when your spouse displays no attraction to you, it starts to take a toll on you. Additionally, he's never been big on compliments. Over the years, communication has also gotten worse. I have an incredibly hard time bringing up our lack of physical intimacy now because it never results in any change. I have a massive anxiety leading up to starting that conversation, and then I typically get little to no response. We'll just have to try harder, or something generic like that. Years ago, we did couples counseling, and it was useless. He wouldn't talk while there, or he would just say what he thought me or the therapist wanted to hear. He won't do individual therapy. I'm looking for some new insights or ideas on how to approach this. Are my only options to one, stay in a completely intimacy free marriage and just enjoy the other aspects of my life, or two, separate or divorce? So, this is where we go wrong. Over the years, communication has also gotten worse. I don't care what it's about. I don't care what the issue is. But if you have a major issue and you voice it, you have concerns and you voice those concerns, and your partner just ignores them or won't work with you to address them, then at that particular point, whatever that issue is it a major deal breaker? For her, this might be her deal breaker. And, dead bedrooms, or incompatibility with drive is an issue. And people do need physical touch, intimacy, support in some kind of way. And I'm not trying to be like hypocritical and say that men's issues are different from women's. Absolutely not, because I would say the same thing. If there is a major issue, then the man should divorce. If there is a major issue, then the woman should divorce. But I say that to say that don't cheat, just leave. Don't stay in a miserable marriage. Why do that to yourself? You don't have to. Because if this is where he is, if he does not, he's not interested, don't force it. Why force somebody? Just leave, because forcing would make them unhappy, and just sticking and staying with a person that just does not fulfill you is going to make you unhappy. Absolutely not. That's where I stand on things. Let's look at some of these comments. Turbulent Tortoise says, honestly, you said you tried talking with him many times and also tried counseling. Nothing changed. It's been a decade. It's not going to change. Your options are to remain exless, take a lover, or end the marriage. Ern Burnett said, you have no children. Financial entanglements can be untangled. Why stay? Exactly. Why stay? Loggy Bear says, cheating is not the answer. And that's where I am. If you're unhappy, leave. You don't need to cheat. Just leave. Untangle, like Ern Brunette says, untangle, disengage, and then figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. Shakan is honing in on the part where she said, take a lover. He's like, holy ish, really? If this were a guy making the post, you'd be downvoted into oblivion for that. The options are settle or get a divorce. There's likely not a middle ground there. And then Turbulent Tortoise says, yes, really, having a side piece isn't exactly unheard of when one doesn't wish to end a long-term marriage. They don't have ex and they haven't in over a decade. It's not like he's taking anything from her by having discrete actual relationships. Shakan is just too through. They're like, I can't even. Phew, wow. And then Turbulent Tortoise says, last round of stats suggests 1 in 4 people in long-term marriages of between 20 and 30 years have had affairs. Researchers suspect those stats are low due to underreporting. Again, it's not unheard of. It doesn't mean it's right. Don't be messy. Just leave. Why can't they just leave, disengage, and untangle? Gilmore Gerlin says, is he willing to get help? Has he had his testosterone checked? Does he self-pleasure? Does he use corn? Rubber Pencil Head says, defo get his testosterone checked. I'd also tempt fate and explore, asking him about your needs, and if he can't meet them, what does he think your options are? The thing is, he doesn't seem to want help. Why would he get all this stuff done if he doesn't want help? He doesn't care. When you encounter a problem and you voice it and your partner doesn't care about it, then you need to make decisions on figure out, are you going to live with the fact that your partner doesn't care about you and your feelings, or are you just going to settle? That's that. He's not willing. Like Tricky. Tricky is the OP. He's not willing to get help. His communication around X and sexuality is very poor. I've asked him to have his testosterone checked for years. He won't. When I asked him about the asexual thing, I asked about self-pleasure. He says he does in the shower. So if he's not willing, why are you sticking around? He's giving you your answer. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Gilmore Gerlin says, if he's not willing to get help, I think you either accept being in an exless marriage or leave. At this point, there's nothing you can do. If he is self-pleasuring, he clearly has a drive. Do you want to live like this? He's not willing to address the issue. So, to the people out there, I don't know if this woman is going to leave or go. This is just in general. If you have an issue, whatever issue is, you communicate that you have this issue. Your partner either listens to you or doesn't take your concerns seriously. You need to decide at that point, are you willing to stick and stay and just settle, or are you going to leave? You have choices. You voiced your concerns. You said, you are important to me, but this is the issue that I'm having. And if they are not willing, then stop trying. Do your own thing. Figure out how you're going to go into the rest of your life and be happy. You do not have to stay miserable. Jump in the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.